Ladies and gentlemen, stop making excuses. Excuses don't build your future. Excuses bury it. You can't reach success and hold on to excuses at the same time. One has to die, and if you want to win, it better be your excuses. Listen to me. Every single excuse you've ever made is costing you. It's not just costing you opportunities. It's costing you respect. It's costing you momentum. It's costing you the life you say you want. You can't live at your highest level if you keep protecting your excuses like they're treasure. They're not treasure. They're trash. You say you don't have enough time, but you have the same artistry hours as every champion, every millionaire, every world changer. You say you're too tired, then fix your routine. Sleep smarter, not weaker. You say you don't have the resources. Guess what? Most people who built something great started with less than you. What they didn't have in money, they made up in discipline. What they didn't have in connections, they made up in hunger. Hey, excuses are nothing more than permission slips to stay average. They're the little lies you tell yourself so you don't have to face the truth. You could be doing more, but you're not. You could be further ahead, but you chose comfort. You could be stronger, sharper, better, but you're letting your excuses run the show. Hear me, excuses will always sound good to the person making them. They'll always feel justified in the moment. But excuses never produce results. No excuse has ever built a business. No excuse has ever gotten someone in shape. No excuse has ever put someone on stage. Excuses only build regret. It's time to kill them. Right here. Right now. Because every second you let excuses breathe, your goals suffocate. Here's what you've got to do. Start calling yourself out. Be honest when you're hiding behind, I can't or I don't feel like it. Replace excuses with execution. Don't say, I'm tired. Say, I'll do it tired. Don't say, I don't know how. Say, I'll learn how. Stop giving yourself options to quit. When you remove excuses, you force yourself to find a way. The world doesn't care about why you didn't do it. They only care if you did it. The scoreboard doesn't ask for excuses. It shows results. So today, choose to be the person who takes full responsibility. The person who owns their grind. The person who doesn't need an alibi for failure because they refuse to stop until they succeed. Kill your excuses, or your excuses will kill your dream. Excuses are weakness. Discipline is strength. Listen carefully. Every excuse you allow is weakness dressed up as logic. It sounds smart. It sounds reasonable, but it's really weakness. Discipline doesn't negotiate. Discipline doesn't say, I'll try tomorrow. Discipline shows up today. You've got to understand the difference between winners and losers isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's how they handle excuses. Losers feed their excuses. Winners starve them. Losers explain why they didn't. Winners explain how they did. How many times have you said, I don't have time? No, you didn't make time. You had hours for social media, hours for TV, hours for scrolling nonsense, but you didn't make hours for your dream. That's not a lack of time. That's a lack of priorities. How many times have you said, I'll start when I feel motivated? Stop lying to yourself. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation fades when it rains, when you're tired, when it hurts. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline says, we go anyway. Stop letting your feelings decide your future. Feelings don't win. Feelings don't finish. Feelings don't build. Discipline wins. Consistency wins. Execution wins. You've got to train yourself to silence the excuses. The second they show up, the second they show up. Don't entertain them. Don't argue with them. Kill them. When your mind says, take a break, tell it, earn it first. When your mind says, it's too hard, answer back. That's the point. When your mind says, you can't respond, watch me. Listen, champions are not built on comfort. They are built on sacrifice, repetition, and refusal to bend to excuses. Excuses weaken your willpower. They soften your edge. Every time you choose an excuse, you make quitting easier. Next time. And the more you quit, the less of yourself remains. But when you choose discipline, when you choose action, you grow. You build strength. You build a mindset that doesn't crumble under pressure. This is not about what you can do when it's easy. This is about what you can do when it's inconvenient, when it's painful, when it requires you to stretch. That's where your character is tested. That's where excuses die and greatness begins. So from now on, every time you're tempted to give yourself an out, remind yourself, excuses are weakness, discipline is strength. And you will not trade your destiny for weakness. Kill the excuses. Live the discipline. Excuses steal your future. Listen to me. Excuses are thieves. They don't just take your time. They rob you of your future. Every excuse you make today is a piece of tomorrow you'll never get back. You keep telling yourself you'll start later. You'll grind harder tomorrow. You'll commit when the timing is right. But here's the truth. There is no perfect time. Excuses make you believe you can delay the work without paying the price. But there is always a price. And it's heavier than you think. Every day you choose an excuse, your dream gets further away. You lose ground. You lose momentum. And one day you'll wake up realizing your excuses didn't just cost you opportunities. They cost you the person you could have become. You think you're protecting yourself from discomfort, but really you're destroying your future self. The stronger, sharper, wealthier, healthier version of you is waiting, but your excuses are keeping you chained to who you are now. Listen carefully. Excuses and results cannot live in the same house. Either you kick out excuses or results will never move in. You can't hold both. You can't serve both. You either serve your future or you serve your excuses. Ask yourself, do you want to wake up 5 years from now still explaining why you didn't? Or do you want to wake up 5 years from now living in the proof that you did? You've got to decide, because excuses are patient. They'll wait for you. They'll always be ready to keep you comfortable, keep you lazy, keep you broke, keep you stuck. But your dreams, they won't wait forever. The opportunity of a lifetime only lasts during the lifetime of the opportunity. Here's what you must do, right? When an excuse shows up, see it for what it is. A thief. Refuse to give it power. Replace I can't with I must. Replace it's too hard with this is how I grow. Build habits and make excuses irrelevant. If you schedule your grind, if you structure your environment, excuses don't get a seat at the table. This is about ownership, about refusing to let the little voice of comfort keep you locked out of your own potential. Kill your excuses before they kill your future. Excuses or execution. You can't have both. You need to understand something right now. Life doesn't reward explanations. It rewards execution. Nobody's handing out trophies for best excuse. Nobody gets paid for why they didn't make it happen. The world doesn't care about your reasons. It cares about your results. That's why you've got to choose. You can either build excuses or you can build execution. But you can't build both. They don't coexist. Here's the reality. Execution feels heavy, but excuses weigh more. Execution will cost you sweat, discipline, late nights, early mornings. Excuses will cost you confidence, momentum, opportunities, self-respect. You think you're choosing the lighter load when you pick excuses, but you're actually choosing the heaviest burden. Regret. Let me tell you what excuses really do. Excuses make small problems look impossible. Excuses make you feel powerless when you actually have power. Excuses convince you to accept average when greatness is calling your name. That's why people stuck in excuses always sound the same. I don't have the money. I don't know the right people. It's too late for me. But let me flip it. Somebody with less money than you started a business. Somebody with fewer connections than you built an empire. Somebody older than you got started and crushed it. So your excuse is not truth. It's a comfort blanket. If you're serious about killing excuses, you have to start holding yourself accountable like never before. Don't just talk, discipline, track it, write it down, measure your grind. Stop lying to yourself about how much effort you're putting in. Excuses thrive in vague talk, but they die when you put numbers and action behind your words. And you've got to create a standard for yourself that's non-negotiable. Winners don't ask, do I feel like it? Winners ask, what's required of me today? And then they deliver. Excuses ask permission to quit. Execution doesn't ask questions. It gets it done. Let me be real with you. Every single time you choose excuses, you train your brain to accept weakness. You tell yourself quitting is okay. You make it normal to fall short. That's dangerous. Because eventually, excuses don't just kill your goals. They kill your identity. They make you believe you're someone who can't win. When really, you've just been someone who won't fight. But when you choose execution, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, you build something inside of you that can't be bought. Grit. And grit will carry you places talent, money, and opportunity can't. So today, stop glorifying your excuses. They don't deserve another word out of your mouth. Stop justifying laziness. Stop defending weakness. And stop explaining failure. Start executing. Start moving. Start proving. Because once you replace excuses with execution, your whole life changes. Your energy changes. Your results change. And eventually, your reality changes. Kill your excuses. Feed your execution. Excuses are comfort. Growth lives in discomfort. Let me be real with you. Every excuse you've ever made has one root. Comfort. Excuses are the language of comfort, and comfort is the enemy of growth. Think about it. Why do people say, I don't feel like it? Because they want to stay comfortable. Why do they say, it's too hard? Because they want to stay comfortable. Why do they say, I'll start tomorrow? Because they want to stay comfortable today. But listen carefully. Comfort zones are graveyards for dreams. Nothing extraordinary grows in the soil of excuses. Growth lives in discomfort. Breakthroughs are born in pain. Champions are forged in fire. Excuses will try to trick you into believing you're protecting yourself. But you're not protecting yourself. You're protecting your weakness. You're keeping it alive. And as long as you nurture weakness, you'll never experience strength. The greatest version of you doesn't live in excuses. It lives on the other side of discomfort. It lives in the early mornings when you'd rather sleep. It lives in the late nights when you'd rather relax. It lives in the gym when your body says stop. It lives in the study sessions when your mind says quit. It lives in every moment you silence excuses and choose execution. Here's the truth. Success demands sacrifice. You can't keep your excuses and expect to grow. You have to trade them. Trade. I don't have time for, I'll make time. Trade I'm not ready for. I'll start and figure it out. Trade I can't for I must. Listen, excuses make you weak because they make you a victim. They convince you that your life is controlled by outside forces, the economy, your past, your environment, your upbringing. But growth starts the moment you reject that lie and say, no, I control me. I control my effort. I control my grind. I control my destiny. You've got to stop asking for life to be easy. Stop hoping for comfort. Instead, look for challenge. Look for resistance, because that's where strength is built. The weight in the gym is uncomfortable, but it builds muscle. The discipline of waking up early is uncomfortable, but it builds character. The grind of consistency is uncomfortable, but it builds results. Your excuses are stealing your strength, but your discomfort is building it. That's why you have to make a decision. Do you want to feel good now? Or do you want to live good later? Do you want the quick comfort of excuses or the lasting power of growth? Remember this, comfort is temporary, regret is permanent. Discomfort is temporary, growth is permanent. Kill your excuses. Step into discomfort. Go. That's where your greatness lives. Excuses don't pay, results do. Let's cut through it. Excuses don't pay bills, don't bills. Excuses don't build wealth. Excuses don't build legacy. You can't take excuses to the bank. You can't hand excuses to your family and say, here's security. Excuses don't produce anything but regret. The marketplace doesn't care about excuses. The scoreboard doesn't care about excuses. Life itself doesn't care about excuses. It only respects one thing, results. You could spend your whole life telling people why you didn't, why you couldn't, why you almost. But in the end, excuses don't write history. Results do. The people who are remembered aren't the ones who had the best reasons for failing. They're the ones who found the strength to win, despite every reason not to. Let me tell you the truth. Your excuses are the enemy of your value. You were born with potential, with talent, with possibility. But every time you lean on excuses, you lower your worth. You shrink your possibilities. You trade greatness for mediocrity. Listen, nobody's paying you for effort you didn't give. Nobody's rewarding you for opportunities you didn't chase. Nobody's clapping for the things you could have done but didn't. That's why you got to get obsessed with execution, because execution pays. Consistency pays. Results pay. Every excuse you kill creates space for progress. Every excuse you bury clears the path for results. And the more results you build, the more momentum you create. That's when you separate yourself from the average. So ask yourself, do you want to be the person always explaining why they fell short? Or do you want to be the person whose results speak so loud, no excuse could ever match them? Stop letting yourself off the hook. When you don't deliver, don't explain. Fix it. When you don't hit the goal, don't excuse it. Adjust and execute again. Excuses delay growth, but action accelerates it. This is where self-respect comes in. You cannot respect yourself if you constantly feed yourself lies. You can't look in the mirror with pride if you know you let excuses run your life. But when you silence excuses and demand results from yourself, something shifts. Your confidence rises. Your belief gets stronger. You start trusting yourself because you know you follow through. Results build confidence. Excuses build shame. Results build freedom. Excuses build regret. Results build respect. Excuses build pity. So here's the decision. Either you keep selling yourself excuses or you start cashing in results. One makes you broke. One makes you rich. Not just in money, but in character, in confidence, in legacy. Kill your excuses. Collect your results. That's how you win. Excuses are not harmless. They're chains. Every time you make an excuse, you add another link. Every time you justify quitting, you tighten the lock. And before you know it, you're bound. Bound by fear, bound by doubt, bound by comfort. You say you want freedom, but you're enslaved to excuses. And let me tell you this, freedom isn't given, freedom is earned. And you don't earn it by talking, you don't earn it by wishing, you earn it by taking action, by grinding, by refusing to let excuses dictate your decisions. Excuses whisper, stay where you are, it's safe here. Action says, step forward, it's better there. Excuses trap you in your past. Action propels you toward your future. Excuses shrink your vision. Action expands it. Let me make this clear. Every time you give in to an excuse, you surrender power. You hand your life over to circumstance. But when you take action, you reclaim authority. You take your power back. That's why you have to treat excuses like poison. You can't sip a little and think it won't affect you. One excuse leads to another. One compromise becomes a pattern. One delay becomes years of stagnation. And here's the dangerous part. The longer you live with excuses, the more normal they feel. They become part of your identity. You stop saying, I made an excuse. You start saying, that's just who I am. No, it's not who you are. It's who you've settled to be. But listen, Chains can be broken. Excuses can be destroyed. And it doesn't take some magic formula. It takes one decision to stop tolerating weakness and start demanding more from yourself. When your mind says, I can't, remind it, I will. When your body says, I'm tired, answer, I'll rest when I'm done. When your environment says, it's not possible, respond, watch me make it possible. Action is the key. Not talking, not planning forever, not dreaming without moving. Action, small steps, consistent effort, relentless grind. That's how chains are broken. And once you kill excuses and choose action, you taste freedom. The freedom of knowing you're in control. The freedom of seeing progress stack up. The freedom of building a life where you're not shackled by regret. All right, so don't just say you want success. Prove it with action. Don't just say you want freedom. Earn it through discipline. Don't just dream. Move. Kill your excuses. Break the chains. Take your freedom back. Excuses or legacy, pick one. Listen to me. This is bigger than comfort, bigger than fear, bigger than you. This is about your legacy. And here's the truth. Excuses will erase your legacy before it's ever written. Excuses die with you. Results, effort, work ethic, impact, those survive you. That's your legacy. Think about it. Years from now, when people speak your name, what do you want them to say? That person always had a reason why they couldn't. Or do you want them to say that person found a way when others found excuses? That person stood up when others stayed down. That person built something that lasts. Excuses won't be remembered. Nobody is going to write a book about your explanations. Nobody is going to study your reasons. Nobody is going to honor your excuses, but they will honor your results. They will study your work ethic. They will talk about your sacrifice. They will carry your story if it's built on execution. That's why you can't afford excuses. Because excuses aren't just costing you opportunities today. They're costing you respect tomorrow. They're costing you credibility. They're costing you legacy. Legacy doesn't come from comfort. Legacy comes from sacrifice, from consistency, from doing the work when it's boring, when it's inconvenient, when it's painful. Legacy comes from taking full ownership of your grind, from looking excuses in the eye and saying, you don't run me, I run me. And let me tell you something important. This isn't just about you. This is about the people watching you right now. Your kids, your family, your friends, your community. Your excuses don't just affect you. They affect everyone around you. Because when you choose excuses, you give others permission to do the same. But when you kill excuses and choose execution, you give others permission to rise. Ask yourself, what cycle are you leaving behind? Are you leaving a cycle of laziness, procrastination, and excuses? Or are you leaving a cycle of discipline, excellence, and execution? Excuses keep cycles alive. Excuses keep poverty alive. Excuses keep weakness alive. Excuses keep average alive. But your grind, your work, your results can break those cycles. You can start something new. You can set a new standard. What? So right here, right now, you need to make a decision. Am I going to live for excuses? Or am I going to live for legacy? Am I going to keep defending weakness? Or am I going to start building strength? Am I going to waste my life protecting comfort? Or am I going to invest my life creating impact? Excuses will always ask for your attention. They'll always offer you an easy way out. But your legacy demands more. Your future demands more. Your greatness demands more. Kill your excuses. Build your legacy. Excuses kill confidence. Action builds it. Listen carefully. Excuses don't just stop your grind. They don't just delay your progress. They kill something deeper. Right. They kill your confidence. Confidence doesn't come from talk. It doesn't come from hype. Confidence comes from proof, from evidence, from doing what you said you were going to do. And when you keep making excuses, you rob yourself of that evidence. You rob yourself of the chance to trust yourself. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, but you don't, your self-belief takes a hit. Every time you say, I'm going to change, but you protect your excuses, instead, your confidence weakens. And after a while, you don't just doubt your goals, you start doubting you. That's what excuses do. They whisper, you're not capable. You're not consistent. You're not disciplined. And the more you listen, the more you believe it. That's why some people don't chase big dreams anymore. We've excused themselves into believing they're not good enough. But listen to me. Action reverses all of that. Action builds confidence. Action creates proof. Action says, I did it once. I can do it again. If I can do it again, I can go further. If I can go further, I can't be stopped. You don't need to wait until you feel confident to move. That's the trap. You move first, then confidence follows. One workout, one study session, one disciplined decision. Stack enough of those and you start trusting yourself again. That's when confidence returns. That's when momentum kicks in. Excuses destroy your foundation. Action rebuilds it brick by brick. Excuses make you question your ability. Action proves your ability. Excuses break your spirit. Action restores it. Understand this. Nobody gains confidence by explaining why they didn't do it. Nobody gets stronger by talking about what they almost did. Confidence is forged in the fire of action, in the sweat, in the sacrifice, in the reps when nobody's watching. So here's your assignment. Stop making promises you don't keep. Stop saying one day. Stop letting excuses write the story. Build confidence by stacking actions, small, consistent actions that scream louder than excuses ever could. Every step forward, no matter how small, tells your brain, I can knock this, And the more you tell yourself that through action, the louder your confidence grows. Excuses kill confidence. Action builds it. And confidence is the fuel you need to finish the race. Kill your excuses. Move in action. Build your confidence. Excuses waste time. Focus creates progress. Let me talk straight to you. Excuses are time thieves. They rob you of the most valuable thing you have. Money lost can be earned back. Energy drain can be restored. But time, once it's gone forever. And excuses eat it alive. Think about the minutes, the hours, the days you've spent explaining why you couldn't. Think about how many times you said, I'll start tomorrow, only to repeat the same excuse the next day. That's not just lost time, that's lost life. Excuses don't just waste your schedule. They waste your future. Time is the great equalizer. Every one of us gets our hours a day. The winners don't get more. The losers don't get less. The difference is this. Winners use their time. Losers waste it protecting their excuses. Excuses which will trick you into thinking you're saving time. I'll do it later. I'll wait until I'm ready. No, you're burning time. You're letting your hours evaporate into nothing. And when you add up all those wasted moments, you'll see why you're stuck where you are. But focus redeems your time. Focus multiplies progress. When you lock in, when you cut the distractions, when you stop explaining and start executing, time stops slipping away. Suddenly, you get more done in one focus hour than most do in a distracted day. Let me make this plain. Excuses are scattered energy. Focus is concentrated power. Excuses keep you spinning in circles. Focus drives you forward in a straight line. Excuses keep you busy talking. Focus keeps you busy building. So here's what you need to do. You'll audit your time. Be real about where your hours go. Don't lie to yourself. Cut the dead weight. Excuses thrive in wasted time. Eliminate the habits, the distractions, the noise. Lock in on the essential. Decide what matters and put your energy there every single day. If you keep excusing, you keep losing. Period. But if you focus, you progress. And progress is what creates motivation, momentum, and results. Don't let another hour get stolen. Don't let another day die at the hands of excuses. Protect your time like it's gold, because it is. Kill your excuses. Guard your focus. Redeem your time. Excuses die. Greatness survives. Listen carefully. Excuses don't last. They die with you. They fade the moment you're gone. Nobody will remember why you didn't do it. Nobody will care what excuse you gave. Excuses are temporary, fragile, and forgettable. But greatness survives. Greatness lives beyond you. Greatness echoes through time. Greatness becomes a story people tell, a standard people chase, a blueprint people follow. That's why you've got to make a decision right now. Do you want to be remembered for reasons or for results? Do you want your name attached to excuses or to excellence? Every excuse you protect keeps you small, keeps you silent, keeps you invisible. But every time you kill an excuse and push forward, you put a brick in the wall of your greatness. Brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice, discipline by discipline, you build something that cannot be ignored. And here's the reality. Nobody gets to greatness by being comfortable. Nobody gets to greatness by defending weakness. Nobody gets to greatness by hiding behind excuses. Greatness requires courage. Greatness requires consistency. Greatness requires a mindset that says, no excuse is stronger than my purpose. No reason is greater than my responsibility. No setback is bigger than my grind. At some point, you have to declare war, not on other people, not on the world, on your excuses, on the little voice that says, I can't, on the thought that whispers, it's too hard, on the habit that says, I'll do it later. You have to kill those excuses before they kill you. Because if you don't, they will bury your dreams, your goals, your future, your potential. But if you do, if you cut them off, if you silence them, if you replace them with execution, you become unstoppable. You become undeniable. You become great. Excuses will die. They always do. The question is, will your dream die with them, or will your greatness survive? Kill your excuses. Build your greatness. Live in such a way that when your name is spoken, excuses are never attached to it. Only excellence. Only resilience. Only results. Excuses die. Greatness survives. Choose greatness. Stop waiting. Stop talking. Kill your excuses and move right now, because your future won't wait for you.